Hey everybody, Brian Summers out of St. Louis. Alright, this is a little assignment that I was supposed to do. Okay, this is law number 13 on the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John C Maxwell. You know, I was reading this chapter today, and a couple things stood out to me. Let me get over some highlights that I wrote down. They were talking about the Band of Brothers. You remember that movie show where I think it was World War I, where they're invading Normandy and how they stick together. And it's talking about the leadership that that their commanders instill on their troops. So Dick Winters was one of the majors, and he was leading by example, setting the pace, described by his officers to step up and go first into the battle. He takes charge. He doesn't let the surroundings dictate, okay, I'm going to send him. I'm not going to stick to just delegation. He is going to be the one leading by example. So one of the stories kind of goes like this. He and his men were blocked by enemy fire. Okay, so picture this. They're bunkered down. They're trying to go into this town. And none of his men are wanting to go forward to push into this town. So what does he do? He stands up. Okay? Shots being fired all around him, stands up. You know, bullets hitting the ground. His men are watching this. And it gets his men so inspired that they follow him, they take this town. You know, so that goes into the books of leading by example. Don't be somebody that's just going to delegate. You know, we, as what we do in our business, have to stand up. We have to get out there. We have to challenge people, because our team members, our new people that are in this, are watching us. So as we're going out and we're doing these challenges, they want to see our leaders leading by example. When leaders show the way with the right action, their followers will follow and succeed. Okay? So if we as leaders are doing the right thing, if we're going out and challenging others and doing our follow-ups and making sure that our team sees us doing that, the ones that are actually going to follow us are going to step up and be successful. They're going to emulate what we're doing. The better the leader's action, the better the people's action. Okay, so if we're just haphazardly going out talking about the challenge, not getting phone numbers, not doing follow-ups, that's what our team is going to be doing. So we need to be due diligent and make sure when we do a challenge, we get their information, we get that follow-up done. You know, I always try and do a follow-up within 2 to 4 days. If they're not ready, I push it off another 2 to 4 days. If they still don't do it, I'll ask them, hey, when can you take a look at this? Make sure you set a date and follow up. I think it was Rachel Jackson said, follow up until they're dead. They gave you the number. It's your responsibility. They gave you permission to contact them. So once again, follow the actions, and the better actions of a leader, that better actions of the people. When times are tough and uncertainty is high, followers need a clear picture from their leaders the most. Okay, so we all know in the business that we're going to have highs and we're going to have lows. Consistency is going to basically be the winner. Whoever is the most consistent at doing this is going to prevail. They're the ones that are going to hit that next rank. So when times of uncertainty are high, it might be the summertime when we have barbecues and everybody's doing their sports, the kids are out of school, we just don't feel like getting out and making those challenges. Those are the time that you need to be at your best. You need to be in the forefront, sharing the challenge, following up, still doing challenge parties. That's when a leader needs to embrace the law of the picture. Okay? Once again, the law of the picture, we're leading by example. Remember, followers are always watching what we do. What about our Facebook post? Are we putting out negative things out on Facebook? Are we putting out positive things on Facebook? Are we talking about how Sally stubbed her knee, and how we had to take her to the emergency room, and how the emergency room didn't do their job, or are we going out there and portraying positive things? It might not just be about the business. Just keep your social media post positive. People are going to be attracted to positive things. Just as children watch and emulate their parents, they learn more from what they see than anything else. So what does that mean? So I kind of take that into context of my kids. You know, they watch what myself and my wife do on a day-to-day basis. You know, my wife is always looking at Thomas and, you know, some of the goofy things that he does, and she'll look right at me and go, "That's your son." So that's kind of resonating in me. So, you know, I need to step up. You know, kids are going to be goofy. That's fine. You know, but I need to make sure that I am a positive role model to not only my children, but my team. All right, and just as kids, you know, once again, your team is going to learn and do the picture that you're, you know, portraying. It's easier to teach what is right than to do what is right. You know, let's think about that. You know, you ever hear the saying that in sports, it's if you can't do, you coach. Well, let's get away from that. Let's actually be the coach who's in the trenches. Let's be the coach that is leading by example. Don't try and teach anything you're not living out. Okay, so don't tell somebody to go out and get a challenge here. Don't tell somebody how to set up, let's say, the Boys and Girls Club. You know, I've done 3 so far, and I've been with my guys. I'm helping my team set these organizations up. Why? Because it gets us back to what our challenge is all about. We're trying to give back to help fight childhood obesity. So what do I need to do? Well, I need to be with them and walk them through the process. Once you walk them through the process, they will know how to walk somebody else through the process. What do you do when you get a new team member? You're sitting down with them. You're going through that GST. It's not, hey, you need to go to this website, you need to look at it, you're on your own. No, you need to physically take them through that. Once you teach them how to do that, they can, once again, teach others. So it's your actions is what is going to be the pulse of your team. Nothing is more confusing to people who give good advice and set a bad example. So if I'm telling people, hey, you know, go do a challenge party and, you know, call me if you need me. You know, we need to show up at those challenge parties. We need to be available for a Google Hangout for their challenge parties. We need to be that support structure. Have them over at your challenge party. Have, you know, we just started a local thing here in St. Louis where we'll invite people over for our barbecues. We need to set that good example. We need to set that unity. As a unity, that's when the whole team starts to succeed. Nothing more is convincing than a person who gives good advice and sets a good example. Okay, so once again, as a recap on Chapter 13, people do what they see. We need to be the leaders. We need to be the people who, when they see us going out and challenging, when they see us following up, when they see us at those challenge parties, they want to be in our shoes. They want to be where we are now. And if we help them to get to that step, we all succeed. We all move up to that next level. It's that paying it forward. This is Brian Summers, John C Maxwell, law number 13, people do what they see.